On the outside, Bluey looks like a fun and lighthearted show, but there's a whole lot going on in the background that you've probably missed. Mackenzie's mom's changing fur. Mackenzie's mom didn't always look the way she does now. First, she only had one spot on her face, but as the seasons went on, something changed. Now, she has spots on both sides. So, what happened? Some people think she dyed her fur red. Maybe she went through something and decided to change her look, a sort of rebellious phase. It could be, but there's another theory that fits even better. What if her fur changed because of vitiligo? In the real world, this condition causes skin to lose pigment, and it could explain what happened to Mackenzie's mom. One side of her fur is brown, while the other is white. Over time, the brown fur grew back, just like how vitiligo affects skin. Maybe Bluey quietly included this real-world condition into the show, but they never directly say it. Could it be that they don't want you to know? Uncle Rad's genes. Uncle Rad looks like a typical healer until you take a closer look at his fur. Unlike Chili, who's red, and Bandit, who's blue, Rad is a mix of both, half red, half blue. Now, here's the mystery. Both Grandpa Bob and Grandma Chris are blue healers, and usually, blue healers don't have red pups. So, how did Rad end up like this? The answer could lie in recessive genes. Even though Rad's parents are blue, they could carry a hidden red gene. If both passed it down to Rad, that could explain the split fur. It's rare, possible, but what if there's another explanation? What if Rad has a different parent? Could Grandma Chris have had a secret fling with a red healer? Maybe that explains why Rad's fur is a mix of both colors. It could even explain why Grandpa Bob is hardly ever around. What if something happened in the past that caused a rift in the family? Could there be more to Uncle Rad's past than we realize? Life of Cornelius, Winton's dad. Cornelius, Winton's dad, doesn't talk much, but his life, that tells a whole story. And honestly, it's kind of a wild one. For starters, Winton has no idea where his dad lived. The only thing he knows for sure is that Cornelius has a pool, and that pool seems to be a pretty big deal. But that's just the beginning. Throughout the series, Cornelius pops up in some surprising situations. In dance mode, there's a dog in sunglasses flirting near the post office. Then, in the quiet game, that same dog is on a date with, yep, you guessed it, Cornelius. Looks like Winton's dad has quite the dating life. But here's where it gets even stranger. Cornelius gives money to a terrier sitting on the sidewalk. Seem random, right? Well, that terrier is probably the dad of 3 pups who go to school with Bluey. And later, Cornelius dates their mom. The pups even say their mom likes Winton's dad. So, Cornelius has a pool, a mysterious home, a complicated love life, and possibly stepkids. But here's the big mystery. We never see Winton's mom. Cornelius says he lives with her, but why does he spend so much time with his dad? Where does she live? Missy's anxiety. Missy is one of Bingo's closest friends, but there's something about her that stands out. She's always a little more nervous than the others. In Pirates, we see her struggle with her fears, hesitating to join in. It's a small moment, but it could point to something deeper from her past. Then, in Pass the Parcel, things get even more interesting. When Lucky's dad changes the rules, Missy doesn't just hesitate, she runs straight into her mom's arms, looking genuinely upset. It might seem like a normal reaction, but there's a detail that doesn't fit. Missy is an Australian Terrier, but her mom is a Shiba Inu. In Bluey, parents are always the same breed as their kids. So, what does this mean? Could Missy be adopted? If so, that could explain why she's more anxious than the others. Maybe she didn't always have a stable home, and that uncertainty made her more nervous. Snickers' missing dad. Snickers, the dachshund with big dreams and a body that struggles with jumping, has a mom who pops up in a few episodes. But here's the strange part. His dad is nowhere to be found. In Bluey, most kids look like a mix of their parent, but Snickers doesn't resemble his mom at all. This suggests that he might take after his dad, who's never been shown in the series. Every time Snickers' mom shows up, she's always alone. In fact, she even tries to catch the bouquet at Frisky and Rad's wedding, another clue that she's not married. So, where is Snickers' dad? Did he leave? Is he just too busy? Or is he off on some wild dachshund adventure? Until Bluey gives us the answers, Snickers stays the only sausage dog at home. Unless, of course, his mom starts dating that long-bodied dog at the wedding. The kite on the roof. In the episode Dirt, everything seems normal, until you notice something odd right outside the healer house. Stuck in the tree is a bird-shaped kite. But this isn't just any kite. It's the exact same one Bingo won in Pass the Parcel. So, how did it get there? We never see her flying it. We never see anyone even mention it again. But there it is, tangled in the branches like it's been through something. Did Bingo try to fly it and lose control? Did a windy day carry it off? Or did someone else borrow it and forget to bring it back down? Whatever happened, it's never explained. The show just places it there, quietly, like a secret waiting to be noticed. A forgotten prize, now part of the background. Whose rugby ball is on the healer roof? In Double Babysitter, there's a strange little detail hiding in the background. Right above the healer house, stuck on the roof, is a plain orange rugby ball. But here's the thing, it's not Bandit's. His rugby ball has green and yellow stripes. So whose is this one? Did Bandit used to have another ball? Maybe he lost it before getting his new one. Having two flyaway balls seems kind of odd, unless it's a habit. Then comes the real clue. In Mum's school, Bandit's striped ball is sitting on Lucky's roof. That means he's already sent one flying over there too. So maybe the ball on his roof isn't even his. Maybe it belongs to Lucky's family or someone else entirely. Whatever the case, it looks like Bandit has a bit of a rooftop problem, and Bluey just leaves it there like a quiet mystery for us to notice. Did Chili really kiss Stripe? One episode quietly dropped a moment that still has fans talking. When Stripe and Muffin walk into the healer house, Chili greets him, and not with a wave. She leans in and gives him what looks like a kiss. Not a cheek kiss, not a hello hug, a real kiss. Then they go off to the kitchen, just the two of them, sharing coffee, laughing, looking way too comfortable. This isn't just any visitor, it's Bandit's brother. So what is really going on here? Why did the show let that moment play out like that? Why make it so quiet, so subtle, like something we weren't supposed to catch? Was it just a slip in animation? Or is Bluey trying to tell us something without saying it out loud? Because if Chili is cheating, it's not just any affair, it's with Bandit's own brother. What's really going on between Wendy and Bandit? In dance mode, everyone's focused on Bluey and her family busting moves, but watch Wendy. As soon as Pat compliments Bluey, Wendy shoots a look that says, enough. Like she's heard this all before and isn't buying it. But why so bitter? Wendy's been the healer's neighbor forever. She's watched their family grow, play, and get a little too wild. And her reactions? Always cold, barely a wave, hardly a smile, just a polite distance, until something changed. In the episode where Bandit pretends to be a ragdoll, Wendy steps in to help. She even drives him around with that same tired look, except Bandit's face says something else. He's a little too relaxed. Maybe he caught a soft scent. Or maybe he liked the attention. And let's not forget the time Bandit's bare butt made full contact with Wendy's window. She didn't scream, she didn't even yell, she just stared. So now the question is, has Wendy had enough of the healers? Or does she secretly enjoy their chaos a little more than she lets on? Maybe what we're seeing isn't just annoyance. Maybe it's something else entirely. Why was Maynard at the wedding? Maynard barely shows up in Bluey, but when he does, feels like he belongs, especially at Frisky and Uncle Rad's wedding. Which is weird, because why does he belong? Everyone at the wedding had a clear reason to be there. Family, close friends, neighbors. But Maynard? He's just there like it's the most normal thing in the world. So, how does he fit in? Maybe he's more than just Mort's pal? If Maynard's been close to Mort for years, and Chili grew up around them, he might have known Frisky too, back when she and Chili were kids. That would make him kind of a god-uncle figure. The guy who's always been around, even if we rarely see him. But then again, there's another angle. Maynard runs a gas station. Uncle Rad works offshore. Their jobs might have crossed paths. Maybe Rad stopped in one, and they hit it off. Maybe Maynard helped him out. Maybe they share weird inside jokes about engines and oil spill. It sounds random, but Bluey's world is full of quiet connections. The hidden Terrier's family heartbreak. Everyone remembers Bandit struggling to stay quiet, but barely anyone notices the man sitting on the sidewalk in that same scene. Head down, paw out, asking for money. He's only there for a second, but something about him sticks. Look closer. He looks exactly like the Terrier's dad, and that changes everything. Because if that is him, then the Terrier's story just got a lot darker. Maybe he lost everything. His home, his family, maybe even custody. That would explain why we've never seen their parents around. Why the Terriers always seem glued together, relying on each other more than anyone else. It also makes their favorite game, playing soldiers, feel different. They're not just being silly, they're brave, holding the line, fighting battles nobody else sees. Bluey might never spell it out, but in one silent blink and you miss it shot, the show might have told a whole story without a single word. The cabbage catastrophe hidden in Bluey. Out of all the things that probably shouldn't be in the healer house, cabbage might be the worst offender. In the episode Chicken Rat, we see Bandit take just one bite of sauerkraut, and suddenly he's stuck in an endless loop of burping. It's silly at first, but there's more going on than just a funny reaction, because because burping is only part of the problem. Throughout the series, Bluey and Bingo have complained about their dad's stink bombs more than once. First, it sounds like just a running joke, but when you connect it to the cabbage moment, it starts to feel like a real clue. Bandit might have a long-standing issue with gas, and sauerkraut just brings it to the surface. This changes how we see those quiet moments in the background, the random groans, the wide-eyed kids, the need to open a window. It could all point back to one thing. Maybe Chicken Rat wasn't just about facing food fears. Maybe it was a warning, a heads up that some vegetables, especially when Bandit's involved, come with side effects no one's ready for. That's all for today on these Bluey revelations. Who thought there was so much happening under the surface? With more than 150 episodes of Bluey out there, you'd think we've seen it all, but there are still plenty of hidden animation mistakes that slip under the radar. 1. The Shadow Mystery. In the episode Obstacle Course, the scene starts with Bluey and Bingo excited to race through a backyard challenge. But there's something strange when Bluey climbs a ladder. At first, when Bluey reaches the ladder, there's no shadow beneath her. Weird, right? But then, as she climbs, a shadow suddenly appears. It's like it just popped out of nowhere. Even stranger, when Bluey comes back down, her shadow doesn't follow her. It just stays there like it's stuck. And the oddest part? Bluey ends up with two shadows at the same time. What's going on here? Maybe the animation just couldn't decide which shadow should follow Bluey. 2. The Vanishing Toys. In the episode Magic Xylophone, Bluey and Bingo are having a blast freezing Bandit with their magic powers. They leave him frozen in the garden, completely buried under a mountain of toys and plushies. When they finally unfreeze him, Bandit shakes off all the stuffed animals, and the garden is covered in them. So far, everything makes sense, but here's where things get strange. A minute later, Bluey and Bandit walk back into the garden, and the toys are gone. No plushies, no stuffed animals, nothing. Did they just disappear? With these two, cleaning up doesn't really seem like something they'd rush to do. So, how did all those toys vanish so quickly? 3. The Car Camera Flub. In the episode Bob Bilby, there's a sneaky mistake you might have missed. The family is driving in the car, and Bluey and Bingo are glued to a tablet in the back seat. Chili decides to take a picture using the front camera, but suddenly, the flash from the rear camera goes off instead. Oops. But that's not all. Later, when Bingo rides her bike, there's a close-up shot of her face. Something looks off. Her usual dark fur around her eyes is totally missing. It's like the animators forgot that detail for just one frame. For a second, Bingo looks almost unrecognizable, like a different character entirely. 4. The Vanishing Spot. In the episode Muffin Cone, there's a quick moment that might slip past you. Trixie is driving when suddenly, a dark spot appears on her face. It's clear as day, right there for everyone to see as she talks. But wait, just a second later, it's gone. No wipe, no smudge, it's just vanished. How did that happen? Was it a shadow or something else playing tricks on us? Keep your eyes on Trixie next time. You never know when she'll pull off another disappearing act. The Missing Seesaw Handle. In the episode Seesaw, Bluey and Bingo are having a blast, holding on to their usual handles as they play. But when Bandit joins them, something doesn't add up. Bluey slides down and bumps into Bandit's back. But hold on, wasn't there supposed to be a handle in the way? Somehow, it just disappears, letting Bluey slide right through. And the weirdness doesn't stop there. When Bluey and Bingo sit across from Bandit, the handle is still missing. But then, when Chloe steps in to help, it magically reappears, as if it was never gone. Did it just vanish for a while? Or did the animators forget where it was supposed to be? 6. The Color-Changing Wall. In the episode Movies, Bandit, Bluey, and Bingo are picking up some popcorn when we notice a row of movie posters on a red wall. But hold on, when they step out of the cinema, the wall is suddenly purple. And the posters? They've completely changed. In the first shot, there's a Mario Bros poster with a dog version of Princess Peach and another featuring a romantic film. But when the scene shifts, it's all about bees and detectives. Seems like this cinema has some magical redecorating powers. Who knew movie walls could change colors and posters that fast? 7. The Disappearing Feet. In the episode, Grannies, Bluey, and Bingo are having fun pretending to be grannies named Janet and Rita. But when they hop into their car, something strange happens. For a split second, their feet go right through the car's floor. Then, when the car crashes later, the bottom of the car is completely solid. No sign of those disappearing feet. It's almost like the car's bottom magically swapped out between scenes. Looks like the granny's car is hiding some animation secrets. 8. The Vanishing Protein Jars. In the episode TV Shop, Bandit, Bluey, and Bingo are checking out the shelves, and while Bandit is distracted by the supplements, Bluey and Bingo are having fun with the CCTV cameras. But something strange happens when a terrier walks by a shelf full of protein jars. At first, the shelf has 5 jars, 2 on top and 3 on the bottom. But just 12 seconds later, the camera shows the same shelf and suddenly only 2 jars are left. So, where did the other jars go? Did someone swipe them during the scene? Or is there something mysterious going on with that shelf? Looks like Bluey has its own brand of animation surprises. 9. The mysterious extra shelf. In the episode Bedroom, Bluey and Bingo spend the day running between rooms. At one point, there's a small shelf with a lamp beside Bluey's bed. But then, as night falls and Bluey gets ready for bed, something strange happens. When the camera angle changes, another shelf appears right next to the first one. Wait, didn't we just see one shelf? It's like the room added some extra furniture without anyone noticing. Later, when Bluey and Bingo move the books around, the same shot only shows one shelf again. But by the end of the scene, Chili is setting up that extra shelf that appeared out of nowhere. 10. The disappearing long dog. In the episode Cafe, Bluey is having a blast pretending to run a cafe with her new friend while Bandit and his buddy relax on nearby park benches. But if you look closely, you'll spot something sneaky. Right under Bandit's bench, behind one of the legs, there's the famous long dog. It's a fun Easter egg for fans, but here's where things get weird. In the very next scene, when the camera angle changes, Bandit is still on the same bench, but now the back leg of the bench is clearly visible. And guess what? The long dog is nowhere to be found. It's almost like the long dog pulled off a vanishing act. Looks like this Easter egg has a few tricks of its own. 11. The mystery kids. In the episode, mums and dads, Indy and Rusty, are trying their best at parenting, but it's not going smoothly. Indy struggles to find a babysitter, and Rusty ends up getting chased by Bluey in a stroller. Definitely one of his tougher moments. But then something odd happens. As Bluey runs after Rusty, they pass by 2 kids playing on a swing. The problem? These kids aren't from Bluey and Bingo's school, they're actually Bingo's classmates. And since Bluey and Bingo attend different schools, those kids shouldn't even be at this playground. Did the animators mix up the schools? Or did those kids sneak in for some recess time at the wrong playground? 12th, Chili's color change. In the episode Spy Game, Bluey and Bingo are fully in spy mode, sneaking around and collecting secret items. Meanwhile, Bandit is manning the barbecue until things go wrong and the flames shoot up. But here's where it gets strange. When the flames flare up, take a close look at Chili. For just a split second, her face turns almost entirely brown. It's like her fur color changed out of nowhere. Was this an animation slip? Or did Chili's face have a dramatic reaction to the surprise flames? 13. The missing pillow. In Keepy Uppy, Bluey wakes up and climbs out of bed, but something's off. Look closely. There's no pillow on her bed. We've seen Bluey's room a bunch of times, and the pillow is always there. So, what's going on? There are 2 possibilities. 1. Chili forgot to give Bluey a pillow, which seems pretty unlikely. Or 2. The animators just forgot to draw it. Honestly, the second option seems way more likely. 14th. Bandit's fur vanishes. In the episode Fairies, Bandit challenges the fairies to do their worst, and Bingo ends up frozen with her finger up her nose. Bluey quickly blames Bandit, and to make things right, he performs an Irish jig around the letterbox. But here's where it gets weird. Right after Bandit picks up Bingo, something strange happens. The fur above his eyes completely disappears. And that's not all. As Bandit dances, Bingo's hand clips straight through his nose. Maybe it's time Bandit gets a permanent makeover. At least that way, his fur won't keep vanishing. 15. Chloe's mom gets stuck in a chair. In the episode Cricket, Rusty's showing off his cricket skills while the moms are chatting by the barbecue. Everything seems fine until Chili calls everyone over. For a split second, something strange happened. Chloe's mom is sitting there, but if you look closely at her legs, something's off. They're not under the chair where they should be. Instead, her legs are sticking out from the middle of the chair, almost like she's become part of it. This animation slip is so weird, you can't unsee it once you catch it. Did Chloe's mom bend the laws of physics? Or did the animators forget to fix her position? Either way, that's some next level flexibility. 16th. Bandit's fur vanishes in Burger Shop. In the episode Burger Shop, Bandit's trying to teach Bluey and Bingo responsibility by having them run a pretend burger shop. Of course, the girls are more interested in splashing around in the bathtub, and Bandit ends up joining them in frustration. Just when things are about to get serious, Chili steps in to fix the mess. But wait, when Bandit moves toward her, something's off. Take a closer look at his face. For a split second, one of his dark fur patches around his ears completely disappears. It's like his fur just vanished mid-scene. Maybe Bandit was so caught off guard by Chili's reaction that even his markings couldn't keep up. 17. Wendy's tail disappears. In the episode Dirt, Bluey and Bingo are having a blast playing in a big mud pile, but their neighbor Judo, a fluffy white chow chow, is in a bit of a dilemma. Her mom spent all morning getting her fur spotless, and now Judo has to stay clean. The girls try to help, even giving her protective gear, but let's be be real. What's the fun in that? Eventually, Judo gives up and her mom walks over to comfort her. But here's the strange part. When she turns to sit down, her tail clips right through the wooden step. It disappears into the stairs like a glitch in a game. 18th Bandit's mystery line. In the episode Ghost Basket, Bandit is all about scaring Chili with his best spooky ghost act. He's going all in with the drama, making wild faces and acting the part. But as he makes his ghostly expression, something strange happens. Right behind his eye, an odd line appears out of nowhere. It doesn't move, fade, or look like a wrinkle. It's just there, like a random detail that doesn't fit. Maybe even ghosts get unexpected quirks in their designs. Whatever the case, it's a tiny mistake that stands out in the middle of the spooky fun. 19th Bandit's pirate shapeshift. In the episode Pirate, Bandit's getting into character for his big pirate act, but things take a strange turn. First, his ears merge into one, making it look like he's sporting a unicorn horn. But it doesn't stop there. His fur changes color, too, with the front going light while the back stays dark, almost like he's wearing a sneaky disguise. And just when it feels like this pirate adventure couldn't get any more bizarre, his snout disappears for a moment, leaving him looking like a one-eyed pirate. Who knew pirates could also shapeshift in the middle of a roleplay? And that's a wrap on these wild Bluey animation mistakes you probably missed. Bluey may seem like a fun, innocent kids show, but it's full of surprising moments that you might have completely missed. First, Wendy's ghost tale. In the episode Dirt, Judo really wants to play, but doesn't want to get messy. Later, she's seen sitting on the stairs, looking upset. But right when Wendy joins her, something weird happens. Her tail doesn't sit on the step like it should, actually clips straight through it, just for a second, but it's super clear. Her tail acts like the stairs aren't even there, like she's part ghost or something. 2. Vanishing dog and bench. In the episode The Sign, Frisky walks away after the wedding gets cancelled. It's a serious moment, but something strange happens in the background. There's a dog calmly eating a snack on a bench, just chilling. But when the camera angle shifts, both the dog and the bench completely disappear, like they were never there. No crumbs, no snacks, not even a shadow left behind. The spot is totally empty. It's like they vanished into thin air. Either that dog had teleporting powers, or the animators forgot to add them back in. 3. Chair legs or dog legs. In the episode Cricket, Rusty is on fire, beating every adult at the game. While he's out there showing off, the moms are by the barbecue, chatting like it's just another sunny day. But right when Chili calls them over, something odd flashes on the screen. Chloe's mom is sitting calmly, but check under her chair. The legs don't look right. They're not the chair's, they're hers. And they're bending in the weirdest way. It's like her body is part of the chair now. The legs are poking out from the middle, not where they should be. Either she's the most flexible dog ever, or someone got lazy with the animation. A quick glitch, but a super strange one. 4. The shadow that stayed. During the backyard race, Chili sets up an obstacle course, and everyone's pumped. Bluey and Bingo are giving it their all. But something strange happens at the ladder. When Bluey runs up to it, there's no shadow under her. Then, as she climbs, a shadow shows up out of nowhere. That's weird enough, but it doesn't stop there. When she comes back down, the shadow doesn't follow. It just stays stuck at the top like it's not done playing. Then, suddenly, Bluey has 2 shadows at once. One moves with her, and one is frozen in place. It's like her shadow got confused and didn't know where to go. Bandit's belly blip. In the episode Asparagus, Bluey's not feeling the veggies, so Chili makes it fun. She calls the asparagus magic. Suddenly, the whole family's pretending to be animals. Bandit turns into a peacock and starts showing off. He spins, struts, flaps, really going for it. But right in the middle of his performance, something strange shows up. A dark shape flashes on his belly. It's not part of his feathers, and it's definitely not supposed to be there. It's just this random patch that appears for a second, then vanishes like it never happened. Looks like his fur glitched and moved to the wrong spot. 6. The vanishing orange. In the episode Tickle Crabs, Bandit's under attack. Bluey and Bingo are charging, and he's grabbing food like it's armor. He flings some grapes, then throws 2 oranges. But here's where it gets weird. The first orange flies like normal, but the second one? It just vanishes. No bounce, no roll. It doesn't even hit the ground. 1 second it's in the air. The next, it's completely gone, like it never existed. Not even a shadow left behind. Maybe the animators forgot it. Or maybe the orange just noped out of the tickle fight. 7. The disappearing flag. In the episode Double Babysitters, Uncle Rad and Frisky are watching the kids. Everything seems normal, and in the background, there's a rainbow flag hanging up. It's clear as day. But then, the camera cuts a few times, and the flag's gone. Just like that. No folding, no falling, no moving. One shot, it's there. The next, it's not. Nothing replaced it. The wall's just empty now. Maybe the animators forgot to keep it in. Or maybe the flag just didn't feel like sticking around. 8. The Tomato Mystery. In the episode Favorite Thing, Bingo's got 4 cherry tomatoes on her plate. She reaches for one, and everything goes a little crazy. One tomato rolls off. Another bounces straight onto Bandit's head. That should leave 2 on the plate, right? Nope. When the camera cuts back, there are still 4. Exactly the same as before. No missing spots. No mess. It's like the tomatoes never moved. 9. The Wrong Leg. In the episode The Claw, Bandit bumps his right leg on the table. He makes a face like it really hurts. But then, something weird happens. He grabs his left leg instead, not the one he just hit. For a second, it feels like maybe we saw it wrong. But later at dinner, his right knee is bandaged. So, yeah, that's the one that got hurt. Maybe Bandit was just too distracted. Zainta Bandit's teleportation trick. In Spy Game, Bingo and Bandit are waiting in the bathroom, but something's off. Out of nowhere, Bandit is suddenly outside, flipping sausages on the barbecue. How did he get there so fast? But here's the real kicker. Just as quickly, Bandit is back inside, helping Bingo wash her hands. Did he teleport? Maybe Bandit has a hidden superpower we don't know about. 1 second he's in the bathroom, the next he's on the grill. A quick animation slip? Or maybe Bandit just got some magic tricks up his sleeve? 11th Fire-Free Walk. Later, in the same episode, the barbecue catches fire, and Mackenzie's dad casually strolls through it, but the fire seems to move out of his way like it's nothing. It looks like the flames completely avoid him, as if the animators didn't have time to fix it. The fire moves behind him, like it's not even there. A quick fix gone wrong? Or maybe Mackenzie's dad has fireproof powers. 12th Bandit Spaghetti Arm. In Butterflies, Bandit's just doing his thing, folding laundry and minding his own business. But out of nowhere, Bluey, Bingo, and Judo come charging in like a wild stampede. They tackle him, and chaos breaks loose. But here's the odd part. If you pause it at the right second, Bandit's arm bends in the weirdest way. It looks like his limb just turned into spaghetti. His paw ends up right on his cheek, but not how arms are supposed to bend. It twists in a way no arm ever could. It's like Bandit turned into rubber for a second. Poor Bandit. He was just folding clothes, not becoming a cartoon pretzel. 13. The Vanishing Tadpoles. In the episode The Creek, Bluey, Bingo, and Mackenzie are having a blast in the water, with tadpoles swimming around their feet. But then, in the very next shot, the tadpoles are completely gone. Just a second ago, they were there, but now, nothing. Did the tadpoles all swim away at the same time? Or did the animators forget to put them back? 14. The Disappearing and Reappearing Leaves. Later in the episode, after the kids step out of the bushes, they're covered in mud and leaves. Bingo even has 2 leaves stuck to her stomach, which she brushes off right away. But when Bandit asks if they want to stop by the park, the leaves magically reappear. Wait a second, didn't she just get rid of them? How did they come back? 15. Bluey's changing eyebrows. In the episode The Beach, Bluey gets her eyebrows painted yellow, likely from the sunscreen Chili put on her. But here's where it gets weird. In a top-down shot, when Bluey leans back while Bingo buries her, her eyebrows suddenly turn blue. It's such a small mistake, but it shows how tricky animation continuity can be. The yellow eyebrows were clearly added for that Aussie sunscreen touch, but they disappeared in this shot. Looks like animated sunscreen doesn't last as long as the real stuff. 16. The Vanishing Soil Pile. In the episode Magic, Bluey and Bingo are busy casting spells, but something weird is happening in the background. While Bandit and Pat dig in the garden, small piles of soil pop up on the grass. But in the next shot, they're mysteriously gone. Then, just as fast, they reappear. Did the garden tidy itself up? Or did the animators cast a spell of their own? Either way, this is one trick even the healers didn't expect. 17. Bluey's bouncing spot. In the episode Trampoline, Bluey and Bingo are having a blast jumping with Bandit. But during one of Bluey's jumps, something strange happens. Her usual dark spot, which should be on her back, suddenly shows up on her belly. It's a blink and you miss it moment, but once you notice it, it's impossible to ignore. So, next time you're watching Bluey, keep an eye on those small details. You never know when something might jump out of place. 18. The Dancing Envelope. In the episode Dance Mode, the Healer family is out in full force, embarrassing themselves with their dance moves. Bandit is caught off guard by Chili's playful challenge, and as they stop at a store, Chili activates dance mode on him. But while Bandit's busy, something odd happens in the background. There's a tall dog standing behind them, looking surprised as dance mode kicks in. But here's the weird part. Watch his hand. He's holding an envelope, and in the blink of an eye, it vanishes, just floats away for a second before reappearing like nothing ever happened. Maybe the envelope just couldn't resist dancing to the disappearing feet. In the episode, Grannies Bluey and Bingo are having a blast pretending to be Janet and Rita, the grannies. They hop into their car, ready for their adventure. But here's where things get a little weird. When they climb in, their feet go straight through the floor of the car. It's a blink and you miss it moment, but when the car crashes later, the bottom is solid again, with no sign of their disappearing feet. It's like the car's floor magically switched out between shots. Looks like Janet and Rita might have taken a shortcut, straight through the car. The vanishing protein jar. In TV Shop, Bandit, Bluey, and Bingo are having a great time at the supplement store. While Bandit checks out the shelves, Bluey and Bingo are up to no good with the CCTV cameras. But here's the twist. When a terrier walks by a shelf of protein powder, something strange happens. In one shot, the shelf has 5 jars, 2 on top, 3 on the bottom. But just 12 seconds later, in the next shot, only 2 jars remain. So, what happened to the others? Did someone sneak by and swipe them? Or is there some weird shelf magic at play here? It's a little mystery, hidden in plain sight. The Daylight Dilemma. In the episode Fruit Bat, Bluey and Bingo are getting ready for bed when something catches your eye. As Bingo makes her tactical moves, you can see clearly through the washroom window. Daylight is still shining bright, but wait. It's supposed to be bedtime, right? The whole scene is lit up like it's the middle of the afternoon. How could it still be so sunny? Looks like the time of day forgot to sync up with the bedtime routine. Maybe the day just didn't want to end yet. And that's a wrap on these surprising Bluey moments you probably missed. If you think Bluey is just for kids, wait until it casually ruins your entire emotional stability. 1. Bandit got a tattoo he'll never forget. In the chaotic mini-episode, Tattoo Shop, Bandit makes the terrible decision to get a tattoo. At home, from his own kids, he sits proudly in a blanket fort tattoo parlor and demands something tough. He wants to look like a biker, a warrior, maybe even a villain. But Bluey and Bingo have other ideas. When the reveal comes, Bandit is horrified to find a pastel-colored unicorn surrounded by rainbows across his back. It's hilarious, but also strangely tragic. He truly believed they'd understand his vision. Instead, he walks away looking like the mascot for a baby shower. 2. No one survives. Working for Bluey and Bingo. In the fever dream of a mini-episode, butlers Bluey and Bingo live in a giant, ridiculous dream house with rocket boosters, 47 bathrooms, and a pool on every floor. Naturally, they need staff. Lots of staff. Unfortunately, every single job, from cook to scientist to floor sparkle collector, is played by one man, Bandit. The poor guy is pulled in every direction, breaking into a sprint every time they change their minds mid-task. Just when he thinks he can breathe, the house lifts off, leaving him behind. It's funny until you realize Bandit has basically become a one-man labor force. It's not a game, it's corporate burnout with glitter. 3. Detective Brown solves the dumbest crime ever. The mini-episode, Brownie Bear, the house is in chaos over a crime so petty it barely qualifies as one. Someone has been poking shoulders, repeatedly. To catch the culprit, Bingo hires Detective Arsenio Brown, a bear with serious focus issues and a habit of playing invisible drums during interviews. The investigation is shaky at best, but it takes a turn when glitter is added to the victim's shoulders. This genius-level plan reveals the guilty party with ease. It's Bandit. Of course it's Bandit. What starts as nonsense ends as a full-blown glitter sting operation. It's over the top, unnecessary, and completely perfect. Somehow, it feels like justice. 4. No family has it figured out. The mini-episode, Alongside, shows 2 kids living completely different lives at the exact same time. On one side, there's Roni, who starts her day with a perfect morning routine, brushes her teeth without being told, practices piano, and even makes her own breakfast. On the other side, there's Bluey, who wakes up by fighting Bandit over cereal, runs wild through the house, and builds forts instead of following any schedule. The contrast is hilarious, but it also hits a deeper note. These families couldn't be more different, yet both are loving and full of life. It's a gentle reminder that perfection doesn't exist, and chaos isn't always a bad thing. 5. Bingo unleashes absolute mayhem. In the mini-episode Strong Potion, Bingo wants to enter a room, but Bandit refuses to let her in. Instead of backing down, she accepts a mysterious vial from a shady vendor, claiming it's a potion of strength. What follows is absolute madness. Within seconds, Bingo becomes unstoppable. She tosses Bandit across the house like a chew toy, all while keeping the same blank expression. The whole thing escalates so fast it barely makes sense, yet somehow it works perfectly. The episode turns a small disagreement into a full-blown superpowered showdown. It's short, chaotic, and completely unhinged, but in the best possible way. No one walks away safe, especially Bandit. 6. Grandpa Mort refuses to go quietly. In the episode, Granddad, Mort is supposed to be taking it easy after a health scare, but he has absolutely no interest in slowing down. Chili insists on strict rules and rest, but Mort has other plans. He escapes supervision, runs off with Bluey and Bingo, and spends the day having fun like nothing's wrong. It might look like a silly old man rebellion, but there's something deeper under the surface. Mort knows his time is limited, and he doesn't want to waste it being told what he can't do. It's not just a funny chase scene, it's about independence, aging, and how even grown-ups still want to feel free. 7. Bluey faces a loss she can't fix. In the episode Copycat, Bluey and Bandit find an injured bird and rush it to the vet, hoping for a happy ending. But the bird doesn't survive, and for the first time, Bluey has to deal with something she can't undo or fix with imagination. At first, she replays the event through a game, acting it out exactly as it happened. But eventually, she changes the story, making the bird live. It's her way of trying to understand something too big for words. While the story is simple on the surface, the emotional weight is heavy. It's about grief, helplessness, and how pretend play becomes a quiet kind of healing. 8. Bluey builds more than just a wall. In the episode Rain, almost no words are spoken, but the message couldn't be louder. Bluey is outside in a storm, building a wall to stop the rain from flowing down the path. Chili tries to bring her inside, but Bluey won't stop. She's determined to finish what she started, no matter how messy it gets. What begins as a simple game slowly turns into something more emotional. Chili watches, then finally helps. When the rain ends, a double rainbow appears in the sky. Many fans believe it's a quiet tribute to a child the family may have lost before Bluey. It's subtle, beautiful, and deeply haunting once you realize what it might mean. 9. Gratitude tastes like icing and disaster. In the episode Duck Cake, Bingo turns her birthday wish into a near-impossible baking quest. She demands a cake shaped exactly like a duck, complete with a bill that quacks when sliced. Bandit dives into the kitchen like a reality show contestant who skipped the tutorial, scattering flour across every surface. Bluey tries to dodge cleanup duty until guilt drags her back with a mop and a sigh. The living room becomes a war zone of sugar, toys, and sticky footprints. When the wobbly cake finally stands, Bingo's tail thumps with pure joy. That single wag proves the lesson. Real gratitude needs sweat, mess, and one brave dad covered in frosting. 10. Bluey plays her way into the afterlife. In the episode Blue Mountains, what starts as another silly animal roleplay slowly shifts into something far deeper. Bluey pretends to be an old dog, reaching the end of her life, while Bingo plays her energetic child. As their game continues, Bluey grows weaker, eventually saying goodbye and climbing an imaginary mountain to reach paradise. It's presented as part of the game, but the emotional weight is impossible to miss. The quiet tone, the soft music, and the calm acceptance of death all blend into something surprisingly powerful. It's a gentle story about growing old, letting go, and finding peace, and it hits much harder than you'd ever expect. 11. Bluey didn't win the race, but she didn't lose either. In the episode Baby Race, Chili tells Bluey a story from when she was just a baby, crawling through life in slow motion while other pups were already walking, climbing, and practically preparing college applications. Chile felt like a failure, convinced she was doing something wrong as a parent. Meanwhile, Bluey was just figuring things out in her own time. The story is filled with flashbacks, guilt, and quiet pressure that so many parents carry but never admit. In the end, another mom offers the one line every parent needs to hear. "You're doing great." It's a milestone episode, not for babies, but for the adults still trying to keep up. 12. Mackenzie isn't just playing astronaut. He's processing abandonment. Space looks like just another pretend game, but it hits harder the longer you watch. Mackenzie, Jack, and Rusty turn an old boat into a spaceship headed for Mars. The others are excited, but Mackenzie keeps pulling away, insisting he was left behind. At first, it feels like weird roleplay, but then it clicks. He's not acting. He's reliving something real. He was once left alone in a park, and that moment buried itself deep inside him. Now, every game is a replay of that memory. This isn't just imagination. It's therapy dressed as science fiction. The saddest part? His friends don't understand, but the audience does, and it quietly breaks your heart. 13. Bingo flew through space just to find her mom. I didn't expect sleepy time to hit this hard, but it did. Bingo lies in bed while Chili tells her a bedtime story about the planets, and suddenly we're floating through space right alongside her. Each planet becomes someone in her life. Jupiter is Bandit's big warm hug. Pluto is the cold feeling when her blanket slips off. And Saturn steals Floppy, her toy. The whole thing feels like a dream, but it's also a quiet panic. She's small, lost, and searching for comfort. When she finally reaches the sun, it's her mom holding her close. That part wrecked me. She wasn't just dreaming, she was finding her way back to safety. 14. Bluey nearly breaks us with one wooden sign. I went into the sign expecting a cute wedding episode and came out emotionally steamrolled. This one's longer than usual, and every extra minute feels like it was designed to squeeze tears out of your face. Rad and Frisky's wedding nearly collapses. The Healer house goes up for sale, and Bluey spirals over, losing everything she knows. There's a pregnancy reveal, a surprise return of Grandpa Bob, and